Dude, are you gonna hook up with a Mexican girl?
You're trying to hook me up with them, dude.
Dude, it'd be great if you did, buddy.
I get it, man.
Sweet brown sugar. You should marry one of my cousins.
If they're anything like you, I wouldn't be able to stand an hour with them. Waking up in the morning, they'd be like,
Hey, can I tell you a story?
I know.
Here's a story about this, and a story about that, and a story about this, a story about that.
But dude, all you gotta do is
this,
this. All you gotta do is this. Yeah, yeah.
You wanna come to my cousin's quinceañera, my daughter's quinceañera, my brother's quinceañera,
Yeah.
my sister's quinceañera?
There's always something happening though, bro. It's better than like, hey, do you know the new kind of flavored coffee I have? Do you like
really?
this kind of coffee? The
up,
baristas are excellent.
you like coffee, dude. Don't give me that.
I like good Starbucks coffee.
Whatever, I'll let you lay into me. Lay into me, dude. Fine.
13 X-ray, 13 missing juvenile, 2717 Jefferson, code 2 incident 5755 and already 1327.
13 X-ray 13, we're gonna be code 6 on the missing juvenile.
Come ahead! Quiet on the set!
This is Michael Falkner, and it's showtime at the September 18th, 2012 edition of the Weekly Podioplex, brought to you by the Chronic Rift. Starting with the box office report, this weekend's rundown kicks off at number 10, and The Campaign, down 2 from 8th. At number 9 is The Odd Life of Timothy Green, down 2 from 7th. Coming at number 8 is The Bourne Legacy, down 2 from 6th. In 7th is The Words, down 3 from 4th. And in 6th place is Paranorman, down 1 from 5th. Coming in at 5th place is The Expendables 2, down 2 from 3rd with $3.1 million and a new total of $80.4 million. In 4th place is Lawless, down 2 from 2nd with $4.3 million and a new total of $30.3 million. In 3rd place is last week's winner, The Possession, taking $5.8 million for a brand new total of $41.1 million. In 2nd place this week is new release Finding Nemo 3D, premiering to $16.7 million. The Lion King is the reigning champ in Disney's 3D re-releases. It opened to $30.2 million on the same weekend last year. Nemo also came in lower than Beauty and the Beast 3D's $17.8 million start. Now, reading up on the analysis, The Lion King's 3D performance appears to be more of a fluke than anything else. The Lion King hit when the idea of 3D re-releases were kind of fresh, but now they become less than novel. In first this week is new release Resident Evil Retribution, slaying the undead to a tune of $21.1 million. That's lower than the last 3 sequels, which, starting from the most recent entry, pulled in $26.7 million, $23.7 million, and $23 million. Retribution did open higher than the original, however. That premiered to $17.7 million. Let's close out the box office report with a look at what was winning in years gone by. 5 years ago in 2007, it was Resident Evil Extinction taking number 1, with the aforementioned $23.7 million. 10 years ago in 2002, Barbershop took first place for a second week with $12.8 million. 20 years ago in 1992, Sneakers won the weekend for a second time with $8.1 million. 30 years ago in 1982, E.T. the Extraterrestrial was defeated by Amityville 2: The Possession, which took $4.1 million. And 40 years ago in 1972, Deliverance kept the top spot again with $2.2 million for the 5th week after its 8th week in release. The box office premieres of the week of September 21st are all about crime, creepiness, and curveballs, and they start with Dread 3D, a sci-fi action flick starring Carl Urban, Olivia Thirlby, and Lena Headey.
We can fight our desires. But when we start making fun,
Makes the brain feel as if time has passed and at 1% its normal speed.
we get absurd.
If we play this right, we can take the whole city.
Whether we like it or not.
800 million people living in the ruin of the old world. Only one thing fighting for order in the chaos. of the Hall of Justice.
Peachtree's is the manufacturing base for all the slow-mo in Mega City 1.
You know how often we get a judge up in Peachtree's?
Well, you got one now.
She has control of everything. Levels 1 to 200.
This is Mama. Somewhere in this block are 2 judges.
That's not good.
I want him dead.
We're gonna have to go through him. Rookie, you ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
Fire!
Judgment time.
Let's finish this.
Law is not the law. I'm the law. Negotiations over. The sentence is death.
In a violent, futuristic city where the police had the authority to act as judge, jury, and executioner, a cop teams with a trainee to take down a gang that deals with the reality-altering drug slow-mo. Dread 3D is rated R. The next wide release is End of Watch, a crime drama starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Pena, and Anna Kendrick.
I am Police Officer 2, Brian Taylor. This is my partner, Officer Zavala.
I'm in my chonies.
I know, dude. Come on.
I'm in my chonies. No.
Come on, man. We work basic patrol here in Newton, one of the toughest divisions in the LAPD.
Take pride in what you do, you guys.
Yes, sir. I got him. Try to run.
Pit him, man. Pit him.
You know, I see you guys out here being good little company, man. It's all fun and games. You get to run and jump and fight and shoot.
I'm down with that.
Watch your 6.
Everybody here is family.
You know I love you, man. I would lay down my life for you, dude.
Hey, partner, what's up?
I want to have a daughter, man. That'd be so cool.
Just don't let her date cops.
She's not dating anyone.
Okay.
Ever.
105 North Avenue, 52.
Third Section 13, Roger.
What are we looking for again?
Dope, money, and guns.
¿Hablas inglés o español?
Good! You good, partner?
I'm good. What? He's got more bling than the old lady's wedding ring.
That guy is into something.
You're not a detective.
Follow me into the house.
Policía!
Oh, my God.
Be careful. You just tugged on the tail of the snake. It's gonna turn around and bite you back.
You think I know we're rolling up on?
Every day feel the heat in the city. Like
Put your hands over your head. Get up.
Cartels are operating here. They operate by a different set of rules.
So why do they call you Big Evil?
Because my evil's big. You're my brother. If anything happened to you, I would take care of your kids.
Word is, we got a hit on y'all, man. Y'all been greenlit.
We're cops. Everybody wants to kill us.
Whoa. 13 X-ray 13, suspect running on foot.
Look at me. We're shooting our way out of here, bro.
Okay. On 3, dude. You're gonna empty your mag and run. 1, 2, 3.
Two young officers are marked for death after confiscating a small cache of money and firearms from the members of a notorious cartel during a routine traffic stop. End of Watch is rated R. Next up, we have House at the End of the Street, a horror thriller starring Jennifer Lawrence, Elizabeth Shue, and Max Thoreau.
Hey, do you need a ride?
No, I'm fine. This is my driveway.
No, it's not. You just moved in on Sycamore Lane. I live next door.
You're Ryan Jacobson.
Yeah.
Your parents got killed. I'm sorry. I know that people were talking about it.
It's okay. It's all anybody can think around me anyways.
You know that house is the reason why we can even afford to rent this house.
What exactly happened again?
The daughter of Carrie Ann killed both her parents.
Carrie Ann?
She drowned in the dam.
But the rumor is, you can see her in the woods.
Hey, look, the freak finally decided to show up.
Ryan's had a tough life.
He's really sweet and sad, and he's all by himself in this big house.
I do not want the two of you to be alone in his house. Can you respect that? Ryan?
Oh my God.
Hey, this is Alyssa Sal. Leave a message.
Is anyone out there?
A mother and daughter move to a new town and find themselves living next door to a house where a young girl murdered her parents. When the daughter befriends the surviving son, she learns the story is far from over. House at the End of the Street is rated PG-13. And the last wide release this week is Trouble with the Curve, a drama starring Clint Eastwood, Amy Adams, and John Goodman. An alien baseball scout in his twilight years takes his daughter along for one last recruiting trip. Trouble with the Curve is rated PG-13. There are also 4 limited releases this week. The first is The Perks of Being a Wallflower, a romantic drama starring Logan Lerman, Emma Watson, and Ezra Miller. An introvert freshman is taken under the wings of 2 seniors who welcome him to the real world. The Perks of Being a Wallflower is rated PG-13. The next title is How to Survive a Plague, a documentary starring Peter Staley, Larry Kramer, and Iris Long. This is the story of 2 coalitions, ACT UP and TAG, whose activism and innovation turned AIDS from a death sentence into a manageable condition. How to Survive a Plague is not rated. The third title is Unconditional, a drama starring Lynn Collins, Michael Ealy, and Bruce McGill. A woman's idyllic life is shattered when her husband is killed in a senseless act of violence. As she prepares to take matters into her own hands, 2 unexpected encounters begin to change everything. Unconditional is rated PG-13. And the last title this week is Diana Vreeland, The Eye Has to Travel, a documentary which is a look at the life and work of the influential fashion editor of Harper's Bazaar, Diana Vreeland. Diana Vreeland, The Eye Has to Travel is rated PG-13. Next up, we'll take a look at the home entertainment slate for the week of September 18th. We begin, as always, with new releases on DVD and Blu-ray. And this week we have 2. The first is The Cabin in the Woods, a horror thriller starring Kristen Connolly, Chris Hemsworth, and Anna Hutchinson. 5 friends go on a break at a remote cabin in the woods where they get more than they bargained for. Together they must discover the truth behind the cabin in the woods. The Cabin in the Woods is rated R. The other title this week is The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, a comedic drama starring Judi Dench, Bill Nighy, and Maggie Smith. British retirees travel to India to take up residence in what they believe is a newly restored hotel. Less luxurious in its advertisements, the Marigold Hotel nevertheless slowly begins to charm in unexpected ways. The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel is rated PG-13. Next up, we'll take a look at TV coming to DVD and Blu-ray, and this week we have 5 titles. The first is Supernatural, the complete 7th season from 2011, starring Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. In Season 7, Sam and Dean fight demons, real demons like Lucifer, who tortures Sam with visions of hell. Private demons, as the brothers face a traumatic personal loss when Bobby is cut down by alien forces, and as Sam and Dean travel the back roads of America, hunting monsters who wreak havoc on the innocent, a new and more terrible foe hunts them, Leviathans, free from purgatory and immune to the brothers' arsenal of weapons and cunning. With Bobby gone, all Sam and Dean can rely on is each other. But will that be enough? Next up, we have Modern Family, the complete third season from 2011, starring Ed O'Neill, Julie Bowen, Sofia Vergara, and Ty Burrell. Join TV's #1 family for another hilarious and refreshingly original season of Modern Family, winner of 11 Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Comedy Series for 2 years in a row. As the extended Pritchett-Dunphy clan faces an uproariously unpredictable array of family vacations, holiday hassles, troublesome in-laws, and surprising secrets, they still somehow manage to thrive together as one big, loving family, even as they drive each other absolutely insane. The third title this week is The Mentalist, the complete fourth season from 2011, starring Simon Baker and Robin Tunney. In Season 4 of The Mentalist, Simon Baker returns as Patrick Jane, consultant with the California Bureau of Investigation, solving the state's toughest homicides. After gunning down serial killer Red John during Season 3's explosive finale, the question remains, is the man Jane shot really Red John? When it comes to The Mentalist, the truth is often elusive, and with a new boss and puzzling cases, and Red John never far from his mind, Jane will need his keen skills of observation, manipulative theatrics, and smooth charm to sidestep the system that stands in the way of the truth. The fourth title this week is Hawaii Five-0, the second season from 2011, starring Alex O'Loughlin, Scott Kahn, and Daniel Day Kim. Hawaii Five-0 is a contemporary take on the classic series about a new elite federalized task force whose mission is to wipe out the crimes that wash up on the island's sun-drenched beaches. Steve McGarrett returns home to Oahu in order to find his father's killer. The governor offers him the chance to run his own task force, the 5-0. Steve's team is joined by Chin Ho Kelly, Danny Dano Williams, and Kono Kalakaua. And the last TV title this week is Army Wives Season 6 Part 1 from 2011, starring Kim Delaney, Wendy Davis, Catherine Bell, Drew Fuller, and Sally Pressman. Prepare for the most moving season yet as TV's heartfelt series hits new emotional heights in its stunning 6th year. Relive every touching moment from Lifetime's hit drama, Army Wives. Change is the word of the day as the wives prepare to leave Fort Marshall and struggle with the prospect of living separate lives. However, when a natural disaster blows into town, it tosses all their plans up in the air. Jackie, an old friend of Denise, becomes a new face on the base, and she quickly gets on the wrong side of Claudia Joy. More relationships are tested as Nicole notices a disturbing change in Frank, and Joe and Roland are embroiled in a controversy involving their newly adopted son. Despite the drama, the bond between these astonishing women grows stronger as they band together through the most challenging times. And now we'll wrap up the home entertainment slate with Blu-rays from the past. And this week we start off with a big one. It's the Indiana Jones The Complete Adventures Blu-ray set. This set contains all 4 of the cinematic adventures of the intrepid explorer. The first is Raiders of the Lost Ark, starring Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, and Paul Freeman. Archaeologist and adventurer Indiana Jones is hired by the U.S. government to find the Ark of the Covenant before the Nazis. Raiders of the Lost Ark is rated PG. The second is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, starring Harrison Ford, Kate Capshaw, and Jonathan K. Kwan. After arriving in India, Indiana Jones is asked by a desperate village to find a mystical stone. He agrees, and stumbles upon a secret cult plotting a terrible plan in the catacombs of an ancient palace. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is rated PG. The third film is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, starring Harrison Ford, Sean Connery, and Alison Doody. When Dr. Henry Jones Sr. suddenly goes missing while pursuing the Holy Grail, eminent archaeologist Indiana Jones must follow in his father's footsteps and stop the Nazis. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is rated PG-13. And the set rounds out with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, starring Harrison Ford, Cate Blanchett, and Shia LaBeouf. Famed archaeologist and adventurer Dr. Henry Indiana Jones is called back into action when he becomes entangled in a Soviet plot to uncover the secret behind the mysterious artifacts known as the Crystal Skulls. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is rated PG-13. The next release is The Game, coming to the Criterion Collection, a mystery drama from 1997 starring Michael Douglas, Deborah Kara Unger, and Sean Penn. Wealthy financier Nicholas Van Orton gets a strange birthday present from wayward brother Conrad. a live-action game that consumes his life. The game is rated R. The next title is Halloween 2, a horror thriller from 1981 starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, and Charles Cyphers. Laurie Strode is rushed to the hospital while Sheriff Brackett and Dr. Loomis hunt the streets for Michael Myers, who has found Laurie at the Haddonfield Hospital. Halloween 2 is rated R. The next title is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, a horror mystery from 1982 starring Tom Atkins, Stacey Nelkin, and Dan O'Harley. A large Halloween mask-making company has plans to kill millions of American children with something sinister hidden in Halloween masks. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch is rated R. Next we have The Devil's Advocate, a mystery thriller from 1997 starring Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, and Charlize Theron. A hotshot lawyer gets more than he bargained for when he learns his new boss is Lucifer himself. The Devil's Advocate is rated R. Next we have Ed Wood, a biographical drama from 1994 starring Johnny Depp, Martin Landau, and Sarah Jessica Parker. This is the mostly true story of the legendary director of awful movies and a strange group of friends and actors. Ed Wood is rated R. And the last title is good timing, considering our box office releases this week, is Judge Dredd, a sci-fi action flick from 1995 starring Sylvester Stallone, Armand Assante, and Rob Schneider. In a dystopian future, Dredd, the most famous judge, which is a cop with instant field judiciary powers, is convicted for a crime he didn't commit, while his murderous counterpart escapes. Judge Dredd is rated R. The Weekly Podioplex will continue after this short message.
Welcome to the interwebs, home of everything. Would you like to try the new Fruity Oaty Slusho?
What do you want? A podcast?
What kind of podcast?
Give me one with affable hosts talking about geeky things they do.
I want one with geek-related news.
Anything else?
Let me see. How about a podcast with sometimes interesting topics or celebrity interviews?
Yeah, let me have the one with the fitness tips, the one that talks about audiobooks, maybe the one that talks about upcoming cons.
If you want all of that, why not get a combo?
You have something that has all of that?
I wouldn't offer it if we didn't.
Is that possible?
Is that legal?
You want This Weekly from GeekRadioDaily.com.
What's that?
A running gag.
So what is This Weekly?
It's the sometimes weekly podcast with stealth geeks who talk about their week, geek news, and it features looks at audiobooks, Fit Club, and con updates.
I don't know.
One of the hosts is a woman.
Oh, really?
With a sexy voice.
So, Geek Radio Daily has forums for geek talks, an active Facebook and Twitter page, and the award non-winning, sometimes weekly podcast. All this and more at GeekRadioDaily.com.
Welcome back. Next, we'll take a look at the Netflix streaming new releases for the week of September 16th to September 22nd. September 16th is a quiet day, but September 17th has one title. That's The FP, a comedy from 2011 starring Jason Trost, Lee Valmassi, and Art Sue. In a post-apocalyptic future, two rival gangs fight for control of Frazier Park by playing Beat Beat Revelation, a deadly version of Dance Dance Revolution. The FP is rated R. September 18th has 6 new titles for the stream. I'll cover 2 here, the rest will be in the show notes. The first is Detachment, a drama from 2011 starring Adrian Brody, Christina Hendricks, and Marcia Gay Harden. A substitute teacher who drifts from classroom to classroom finds a connection to the students and teachers during his latest assignment. Detachment is not rated. The other title for September 18th is Conception, a romantic comedy from 2011 starring Alan Tudyk, David Arquette, and Julie Bowen. This is a comedy that follows 9 very different couples on the night they conceive, showing that sex can sometimes be more neurotic than erotic. I wonder if Alan Tudyk's character somehow dies in this one as well. Conception is not rated. September 19th brings 2 titles to the stream. The first is What's the Worst That Can Happen?, a crime comedy from 2001 starring Martin Lawrence, Danny DeVito, and John Leguizamo. A rich man catches a thief burglarizing his home and steals the thief's lucky ring, who then tries to get it back. What's the Worst That Can Happen is rated PG-13. The other title is American Warships, a sci-fi action thriller from 2012 starring Mario Van Peebles, Carl Weathers, and Johanna Watts. Not to be confused with Battleship. When a fleet of mysterious ships wage war on Earth, only the crew of the USS Iowa, the last American battleship, can prevent global Armageddon. American Warships is not rated. September 20th is quiet, but September 21st has 4 titles. The first is My Reincarnation, a biographical documentary from 2011. Tibetan Buddhist master Chogyal Namkhai Norbu watches as his Western-born son Yeshi, who was recognized at birth as the reincarnation of a famous spiritual master, considers departing from tradition to embrace the modern world. My Reincarnation is not rated. The rest of the titles for September 21st are TV titles. The first is Teen Mom 2, Season 2 from 2011, starring Janelle Evans, Chelsea Hoska, and Kaylin Lowry. Young mothers Leah, Janelle, Chelsea, and Kaylin return for more mama drama and a host of motherhood's unexpected challenges. This season finds the teen parents coping with relationship issues, health scares, social pressures, and scholastic dreams. The next title is Death Valley Season 1 from 2011, starring Texas Battle, Bryce Johnson, and Tanya Ramond. In this tongue-in-cheek horror comedy, an intrepid news crew follows the LAPD's Undead Task Force as they battle zombies, vampires, and other supernatural fiends running amok in Southern California's San Fernando Valley. And the last title is Good Vibes Season 1 from 2011, starring Adam Brody, Jake Busey, and Josh Gad. Life for pasty New Jersey lad Mondo gets a whole lot better when he moves to sunny Playa del Toro, a California beach town where he and his best new bud, Woody, surf the gnarliest waves, crash the craziest parties, and ogle the hottest chicks. And September 22nd rounds out the week with 4 titles. The first is The Deep Blue Sea, a romantic drama from 2011 starring Rachel Weisz, Tom Hiddleston, and Simon Russell Beale. This remake of the original 1955 film, adapted from a Terrence Rattigan play, stars Rachel Weisz as a wedded woman who falls hard for a younger man. Her determination and emotional obsession lead her into tragic conflict with the morals of the day. The second title is My Way, a historical drama from 2011 starring Dong Gongchang, Zhou Ardagiri, and Bing Bing Fan. This fact-based wartime drama follows 2 young men, one Korean and one Japanese, whose athletic rivalry ends with the start of World War II. Captured by the Soviets, both men escape but are separated, only to meet again in the D-Day invasion. My Way is rated R. The last 2 titles are TV titles. The first one is Supernatural Season 7 from 2011, which we discussed earlier in the home entertainment section. The other title is Nikita Season 2 from 2011, starring Maggie Q, Shane West, and Lindsay Fonseca. Nikita is out to destroy the secret agency that made her a perfect killer, and this explosive season unites her with her longtime foe. Together they face Nikita's traitorous protege, Alex, who's armed with deadly skills she learned from the Master. And now we'll wrap up this edition with 3 items in the Quick Flicks. On October 25th, John Carpenter's 1978 classic film, Halloween, will be returning to theaters. The original version of this slasher flick is credited as the template for the standard 80s horror film, and was one of the most successful indie films ever released. It was also one of the most profitable, taking $50 million in the United States alone on a budget of just a couple $100,000. A list of theaters playing the film will be linked in the show notes. Just in time for the release of Indiana Jones' complete cinematic adventures to Blu-ray, Raiders of the Lost Ark has been running in IMAX theaters. Due to the popular demand, the re-release has been extended from the original 1-week run to a 300-theater booking, and possibly even into normal theaters as well. From the press release, quote, due to the extraordinary response for the newly remastered Raiders of the Lost Ark during its 1-week IMAX engagement, Paramount Pictures Corporation, a division of Viacom Incorporated, has announced that the film will have an extended theatrical run beginning on Friday, September 14th. The unforgettable and beloved film from the director Steven Spielberg and executive producer George Lucas will play in more than 300 digital theaters across the United States and Canada. Tickets can be purchased now. Check your local listings for participating locations and showtimes. End quote. And finally, if you're going to the theaters in the United Kingdom, you better be on your best behavior. The Prince Charles Cinema is reportedly employing volunteer ninjas to regulate good behavior. Volunteer ushers in black skin-tight bodysuits are guarding screenings in exchange for free admission. When they see someone acting rudely, talking, texting, throwing popcorn, kicking seats, etc., they swoop in to give the patron a stern talking to. It's also been reported that by those caught by those movie ninjas that they are quite effective. Now my question is, how soon can you bring this over the pond to the States? If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, please take a moment to get in touch. You can surf on over to chronicriff.com and leave a note in the forums. You can leave a voicemail at 888-866-9010, or you can write to John at chronicriff.com. You can follow us on Tumblr, tweet us on Twitter, check in the network on GetClue, watch the classics on Funny or Die, give us a thumbs up on Stitcher Radio, and leave us a review on iTunes. You can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook and Google+. If you decide to pick up any of this week's new releases, why not do it through our Amazon store? You get the newest entertainment at Amazon's low prices and high-quality service, and each purchase you make through the store supports the Chronic Rift. Look for the link in our show notes or visit our website. The Weekly Podioplex is a Lucky Shot production and is produced by John S. Drew. This is Michael Falkner. Thanks for listening. I'll see you at the theater.